Okay, it's been months since I've done a video, probably January, February. It's Frida Lynette or Frida Foster. I don't care who knows my government name. I started the year off saying I was going to save my children and I was going to work on myself so that I could be better for them. And just the year in review, I got bags under my eyes. They look black. Um, in January, I got laid my daughter on the altar, joined the church. By April, she was baptized and standing in front of the pulpit, giving the scriptures to this mega church, and she's well involved in the youth group. Her whole demeanor has changed. She's shining bright. She's acting and living out all her dreams in her senior year of high school. I was so proud of her. She got a 26 on her ACT, and she's applying to the best colleges she thinks she can get in. So, major success story from January till now, which today is November 20th. But what's crazy is I was talking about saving my children and their disabilities and things like that, but something crazy happened to me. So this year I started having these panic attacks, which I later learned were anxiety attacks. And one I had at work, I want to say maybe March of this year. Um, I couldn't breathe. I'm hyperventilating. It's not the first one I've had though, but the first one I've had at work. And my work coworkers come over and they come in my office and they trying to help me and they get me calm and they call my mom for me. My mom comes, gets me, takes me to urgent care. Urgent care does a screener on me and says I need to contact a psychiatrist and do some more evaluations. I don't know what this is on my shirt. And so I did that. Come to find out that my markers or I marked high for anxiety and depression. So I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression and put on medication at that time. Um, I don't even know what else to say about that. But I'll say, even on medication, I was having attacks. Like I would be in my car on my way to work. So clearly, my job is the trigger. Um, and I work in schools, but it's technically I don't think it was the kids per se. I think it was the work more the workload of what I my ooh the dog boy the workload of what I had to do, which was overwhelming me. Mind you, I've been in therapy for a couple years already. Started off with like couples counseling and ended up with me just working on myself. Um, yeah, so I'm having panic attacks in the car on the way to work. I got the Hypnosio app. I'm praying this, whatever it is, away. I'm anointing my office at work, holy oil, all of that. Fast forward to this week, 17, 18, 19, 20, which would have been Monday, November 17th. I had a rough weekend. I had some things to do for school. I'm always behind on my work, so that always stresses me out. Like it's just never enough time to get everything done. But the weekend, I didn't really do much work to get ahead or to knock some of the stuff out. Um, so then on top of it, I'm like having a reaction to stuff. I'm itching real bad. My whole body's itching. My lipstick was burning my lips. My body wash was burning my body. I've been having gas and bowel movements like around like women's menstrual time, and I wasn't near my menstrual, and it was just like I having all these reactions. So I get to work Monday, and Monday the 17th, and I got all this stuff piled up, but I got a meeting. I got tons of meetings at work. It's ridiculous if I look at how many meetings on my calendar. Um, so I stop at my boss's office. I'm doing this meeting, blah, blah, blah. It was very low level, not an issue. And I'm like, oh, I got to call a parent. So I go, because the parent called on Friday. I needed to call him back. So go to call the parent, can't get them. Then I started going through my emails. I got all these emails, like somebody needed me to send literally 20 IEPs over. It's just all these things. And then my boss sends me an email, 5-page email, talking about a paper meeting and all these things I needed to do. And so I'm looking at the list and I'm like, okay, this list, it's not like it's unreasonable things on the list. It's that when I got time to do it. I'm still backed up on my work for months. But so I started peeling away at the list, trying to do a couple of things that were on the list, like trying to prioritize what I could get done right away. And the next thing you know, I just can't breathe. So, and this happened to me last week at work too. It was so bad, like I literally laid on the floor in my office, and my office is tiny, it's very small. And and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I get to work about 7:05. The kids start coming up about 7:30. So I hear them in the hallway, and I think what triggered me in my head was the kids already here. I didn't get much done. Like, shoot, I'm gonna be behind again. So I can't breathe. My throat starts closing up. So I get on the floor, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, if somebody comes in here though or look in the window, they might be able to see my feet. So I literally like curl up under my desk and just start deep breathing until I calm myself down, which I did without going into a full panic attack, which was good. So I was able to get through it. That was like Thursday of last week. But Monday, I felt the attack coming on, and I knew it was going to be a hard one because I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, right? And so I called one of my coworkers who I know has an office space, and I said, Kara, I need to go to your office because I don't want anybody over here to see me go through this. I need to just get through it so I can continue functioning. So I run over to her office, and I just lost it. She comes in there and she's like, oh my God, let me give you a minute. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't breathe. Like, I didn't know what to do. And so I ended up calling my mom, and my mom comes to the job and gives me Kara, takes all my stuff down to my mom's car. Security walks me out. I'm in the car with my parents, and I'm just like, I cannot keep having these attacks at work or in the car, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I got to get some help. So that day I called my psychiatrist and I called my counselor, and both of them got on the phone with me. And my counselor talked me through what I was going through. My psychiatrist, you know how they pill pushers, they up my meds. And we talked about maybe I need like some kind of outpatient care or something like that. So I called a few places for an evaluation. My parents made me stay at their house most of the day that day because this happened like 9:30 in the morning. So I'm at my parents' house until almost time for bed, but I can't sleep that night. So, those places I called, I knew they wouldn't call me back till Tuesday, which was fine, but I can't sleep that night. And it got so bad, I'm just like crying and crying and crying, and I can't stop crying. It was so bad. Like, I texted a couple people, but I knew they would be asleep. So I didn't expect them to respond, but just in case they were up. And I didn't get no response. And I ended up calling the crisis hotline, 988. Actually, I texted them and started chatting with them until somebody woke up and finally texted me back. And so that's how alone and sick I felt, and miserable I felt, and sad, and it was just a lot. So Tuesday morning, one company calls me back, and they're very responsive, very helpful. The other two that I called weren't nearly as responsive. Talked to their intake person for a whole hour about a bunch of different stuff. Talked to my counselor again that day as well, and unpacking stuff with her on that next day. I have to do another video about what I learned about myself in my past. It's very concerning. Long story short, or short story stays long, or long story long, these people call me back after they do my survey, or talking to me for an hour, and says, well, I got the phone with them. They were like, we are recommending intensive outpatient treatment, therapy, half a day, 3-4 days a week, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. An hour later, they called back and they were like, we reviewed your file and everything we talked about, and we are actually upgrading that and recommended you for PHP, partial hospitalization. So I'm familiar with this stuff because my daughter been hospitalized 3 or 4 times. And I was like, damn, am I that messed up? But I guess I am that messed up. For them to recommend me for partial hospitalization, so it's a step down from the inpatient where you stay at the mental health facility full time, sleep there and all that. PHP, or partial hospitalization, is when you get to go home every night. So like I got to be there at 9:30 and leave at 4:30. Yada yada yada. So I'm like, wow, this was Tuesday. So they're like, you can start tomorrow. I said, give me a day to get my stuff together and I'll start Thursday, which is today, which is why I'm making this video. Today, I started a partial hospitalization program with Pathlight Mood and Anxiety Center. And, whoa, like, how did Miss Professional, assistant principal, bed administrator, end up in a very place where my child has been, where other kids that I work with have been? Like, this ain't where I should be. And even when I got there, like, the people in the group, I mean, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 that maybe have similar backgrounds to me, but most of them were kind of younger. You could tell they have gender identity issues and things like this. But you know what it made me realize? Whether you're a CEO or a janitor, we're all just human beings. We all the same. And I'm no different from them. I can't judge them. They can't judge me. I'm not better than them. They're not better than me. We're just different with different triggers. And you know how embarrassing I felt saying my trigger is work? Like, even though I'm learning through therapy, there's some underlying reasons why I'm such a people pleaser and work myself to an oblivion for people who don't give a damn. Like, that's a thing too. So, but that, I'm unpacking why I do that. So those of y'all that can tell your employer to kiss your ass, I envy that. I wish I had that instead of chasing money and allowing anything for $1. You know, that's some pimp shit. That, yeah. So yeah, that's my story. So I know today I made like 3 different posts on Facebook, and when I said, God, I hope people, here I go worried about what people think, don't think that these posts are about my relationship, because they're really not. They're really more about my career, not my relationship. Because some of the way they read, I know people be trying to read in between the lines and all of that. Has nothing to do with a relationship. But I just sat on the train, and mind you, I haven't commuted in a long time. I have to go downtown. I've always worked close to home, in the last 10 years at least. And just sitting on the train and being able to just read a book, or just not worry about traffic, or not worry about nothing. Just sitting there and then just enjoying, letting somebody ride me around, actually felt good. And then I was like, well, it's a longer day because I work close to home. But hell, I'm at work at 7:05 and I ain't getting home after 6 o'clock. I got home at 5:40 today. You know, I'm getting home at the same time with 2 hours of commute time. So I'm like, okay, so it ain't nothing. But it's only day 1. My anxiety was through the roof. I was triggered by the groups and people talking. And it wasn't like they were sharing anything heavy. It just reminded me of work when I'm sitting at a table trying to solve kids' problems and listening to their issues. Like, I just immediately started just shaking, and I was doing this. My palms were sweating because I'm starting to pay attention to how my body reacts. Like at 6 o'clock when my alarm goes off, I was laying in the bed, didn't even have to go to work, and my heart rate was elevated yesterday. I didn't even have to go to work. So I'm like, my body is automatically responding to having to get up to go to work. Hell with that. But yeah, so that's how my first day went. I know people will say, you have this type of career, you work here, you shouldn't be making videos like this, or you shouldn't be doing that. And here's the thing, I don't care anymore. I'm done hiding. I'm done trying to protect reputations or whatever it is, or make people think that I'm above them or better than them, or I'm not human. Because I'm going to tell you, everybody in the school system is mentally ill, from the kids to the staff to the administration. It is a mentally ill cesspool of trauma. Because guess what? Most humans have trauma. I'm so messed up. I didn't think I had trauma until I've been in therapy 3 years and just figuring out what my actual trauma was, because I normalized people exploiting and taking advantage of me and treated like it wasn't a big deal, not realizing what the lessons it has taught me my whole life, which is why I allow what I allow to happen to me, and there's some other things. So I don't care. I don't care because I just want to be healthy and happy. That's just it. Healthy and happy. I'll do another video about, they gave me a new diagnosis. Well, they're going to formally give it to me probably tomorrow after one more test. They're saying anxiety and depression is a secondary to another illness. So I'll talk about that. I'll do a separate video on that. But I just want to document my first day of full-time partial hospitalization, inpatient therapy, and just a new start to a new me. I just want to be happy, y'all. And that's what I want y'all to do. Just be happy. It ain't about money. It ain't about looks. It ain't about who got the most women. It ain't about if I got a husband. It's just be happy and get rid of whatever those stresses are, before you end up like me, the 6-figure administrator sitting next to the transgender 20-year-old with the same anxiety and depression issues. What's the difference? He getting help earlier than I am? And I'm going to leave it at that. See you next time.